Recording. Welcome, everybody. Simon versus the podcast. We are back again. So today's topics, we're going to be talking about They Live, and Ethan will probably talk about how when he was a baby. Sure.
Mm-hmm. That's the plan.
Childhood trauma.
Yeah.
I lost the childhood trauma.
I got Ethan and Sod with me. They Live, released in 1988. Written and directed by John Carpenter, starring Roddy Piper and Keith David. Yeah.
Interesting dynamic. Interesting duos. Weird.
They're really good together. Yeah.
I say so, yeah. I thought so.
I wrote down a quick little retrospective. Well, not a complete retrospective on Roddy Piper here. So if you guys want to hear that.
Yeah, I didn't even go into because I was like a Canadian wrestler. So I'm like, oh, okay, he could go on about this. So I had to go very long.
Roddy Piper, his real name is Roderick George Toombs. He was born April 17th, 1954, and he unfortunately passed away July 31st, 2015.
Oh.
Yeah.
Didn't know that. Okay, damn.
Yeah, he better known as Roddy Piper. He was a Canadian professional wrestler. AWA, I believe, NWA as well. Most famously known for his run in the WWF, now known as the WWE. He was also an actor. He's been in a couple things here and there. I think Wrestlers vs. Zombies, he was in that. And Hell Comes to Frogtown. He was he was born in Saskatchewan, but he was raised in Winnipeg, Manitoba. Actually, a prolific. He was he could play the bagpipes, as we saw in the Mario Brothers TV show.
Oh, that's the last name Piper, so it's like a family name.
The Super Mario Brothers Super Show.
Yeah, where they turn his bagpipes into a vacuum cleaner.
Wasn't the guy who played Mario also a wrestler?
Yeah, Lou Albano.
Oh,
he was really good friends with Cyndi Lauper.
Oh, more wrestlers then, I guess. More wrestler actors, I guess, then. I'm sure
wrestling was like 80s, 90s wrestling, and like early 2000s. Wrestling was at like its zenith, its ultimate peak.
Well, now, they got more movie. Yeah, they got more movie roles, I'm sure. Then now he's got John Cena and shit doing movies, but like then,
Cena,
I don't think we got more. Yeah, but then it was getting more movie roles. Like They Live, like how this guy ended up in a John Carpenter movie says enough for me.
You want to know why he ended up in a John Carpenter movie?
Tell me.
He's insanely charismatic.
Exactly.
Oh, I'd say so. Yeah, he's good appearance.
I'll say it. Like, even though he was trained by Stu Hart, the father of Bret Hart, I wouldn't say he was a fantastic wrestler, but my God, he could talk. He was a fantastic talker.
Well, he has a great presence for this movie. Like, either way, he's talking now. He has a good presence for it.
Yeah, that does show in They Live.
Yeah, except for the time he did blackface, but we don't need to get into that.
Okay.
Unless you want to, I can give a quick little and then Sod can find the photo.
Yeah, we can some good images for that. Yeah.
Well, there was a storyline where he was facing a black wrestler, and his idea was to get into his head, so he painted half of his body black, and the other half he was still white. It's like ebony and ivory, weird.
It's classic 80s.
But the thing was, funny story is he couldn't wash the paint off, so he had to go through the airport like that.
Oh my God!
Yeah,
was this around They Live? If so, that makes it all the difference.
This would have been before They Live.
Okay.
He did return to wrestling after his like short stint doing acting, and he was still in like They Live shape. Like he's
because like he has a shit off his movie. It's like, oh yeah, he's ripped, dude. He's jacked. Yeah.
And this was before the steroid trials and such. So yeah, he's massive. He returned to face Jerry the King Lawler at King of the Ring, and that match was horrible. Stunk up the place. But yeah, let's get into the actual movie. Rest in peace, Piper.
Yeah,
Canadian icon. Yeah.
We'll talk more about wrestling once we get to the famous fight scene in this.
I wrote down like all the wrestling moves that they performed. So
okay, good. You have to go through that. Yeah.
Yeah. So we kick off with it's a really simple intro. It's just John Carpenter's They Live.
They
I was
Live,
gonna say
not
The Thing. It's not. We're not
Yeah,
doing The Thing. It's They
no,
Live.
it's a
Oh,
movie.
really?
John Carpenter's already been relevant because he's using different pronouns. Instead of he or she live, is they live. So he's
Oh.
keeping it real.
Ahead
Movie
of
really
his
was ahead
game.
of its time.
Yeah.
It really was. Yes, it's a whole movie.
We get the John Carpenter's They Live. And then it
Classic
fades
font.
into the graffiti. And it's just really well done.
Oh, it's a great intro, really.
And it was
Music
like
and everything.
Yeah,
Very
Piper,
low-key, yeah.
he's just casually strolling through a train station as one would do in the 80s, I would assume.
Yes, if you got
Walking
nowhere else to
into
go,
LA.
just walk anywhere, yeah.
Yeah. I like the world building in this because just by him walking around, it builds everything that's going on pretty well.
Yeah,
Like
it
in the
shows off
first
shows off like the class divide right off the bat.
Yeah.
He's walking. And also like it has a real stranger walked into town sort of vibe. The thing about John Carpenter was that he always wanted to do a western. He never actually did a western. So throughout his work,
closest you can get.
Yeah, you can sort of see like elements throughout. Like I guess Escape from New York would be the best example, with like Kurt Russell basically being Clint Eastwood in that movie.
And he himself, Ray Piper, he's like so low key himself. Like in the beginning, when he doesn't say much really. He doesn't have much dialogue at first until like he meets like Keith David at first.
Character
Yeah,
doesn't even have a name. He's just called Nada in the credits.
Oh yeah, we're having nada that.
Dum-tsh.
Yeah, I was
He'll
gonna say
be all weak.
nobody ever actually says his name. His name's just Nada. Yeah.
that's now think about it. What was his name? That's true. Yeah.
Yeah, his name was Nada, but Frank
Okay,
usually
yeah.
just refers to him as like asshole.
Yeah, he's
Well, I refer to him as Day because that's what you call people nowadays. So let's call him Day. Might as well.
No.
we can just call him Roddy Piper.
Yeah, I just call
yeah.
him Piper throughout the whole thing.
I was come Roddy
'Cause
Piper too. That's
he's
what I
really,
just did.
he really is just playing himself, really.
Well, he's also just sort of like a symbol of like the working class in this like world. I'd say.
Well, he even says like he believes in America, which is
Yeah,
funny because he's
at
Canadian.
True, but it's like sort of sets up like his like character as being sort of naive, sort of.
Yeah.
Well, he like goes, "Have patience, man. I believe in America." When he's like talking to Keith David, who's just cynical and
Oh yeah,
dumb.
he's had enough. Yeah, well he had to move. Well, his family's in Detroit, and he had to come all the way. They're in LA, are they?
Yeah, they're in LA.
Yeah, he had to come all the way
LA
to
for his
LA for
family
work.
for,
That's
like,
like
6
halfway
months.
across the country.
So he's done with it. He's fed up. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he
So
also references
yeah, Piper,
your work.
when he's walking around, he goes to the unemployment office, which is pretty uneventful. It's probably what it is nowadays in modern America as well. But yeah, she tells him, I don't have a job. So he just goes to a construction site. He's like, I got my own tools. Just let me work for a few bucks. And I guess the foreman probably like, yeah, sure, whatever.
Yeah, he's just do whatever you want.
He takes his shirt off.
For sure, I thought also yes. I was thinking like another scene of him shirtless, but no, it's the first time we actually see him shirtless. So yeah, if you can tell, he's a wrestler. Got to establish that you can't go through his whole movie and not like show that he's a jacked dude. It's impossible.
Oh yeah, massive.
Oh yeah,
as I said, steroid trials.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Keith David, he starts giving out about the steel companies, and I guess a bunch of steel companies shut down in Detroit, and all the owners massively profited about it. Yeah. Keith, they become friends pretty fast because they're both very likable people. And,
as characters, yeah. They're just good characters.
It's as naturally happens too.
The actors also had like really good chemistry. Like it reminded me of like in Saints Row 4. They redo the fight scene later on in the film in the video game. Yeah.
That fight scene's been like done in a whole bunch of things. Like I guess the most well-known example would be the cripple fight in South Park.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh
yeah. Yeah. David basically takes him to a hobo camp, I guess.
Yeah, it's just
it's kind of
commune for like where all like the
like a shelter basically. It's like a shelter.
But there's probably quite a few of those given the world building that we get. Yeah.
I like the lower class people, which like come on later in the movie. Yeah, it gets said more and more.
It just goes to show like the complete class divide.
Yeah, there's really no middle class in this movie that you see. Like maybe a few people here and there, but
I guess like the people who are like still like oblivious to everything.
Yeah,
like, you just see them on the sidewalk and everything.
Mm-hmm.
They're not the focus. So like,
once again, middle class, go fuck yourself.
Need to be eliminated.
Yeah. Reminds me of a joke that I heard once about the middle class. That's a Futurama reference.
Which, ooh, yeah.
Judge Whitey. Yeah. Well, Piper, like, they're just sitting down around the TV, a start fuzzes out, and then we get, like, this guy telling everybody that it's not what it seems. Everyone's being controlled. Basically. Yeah, wake up. You're being controlled.
Yes.
And everyone is just annoyed with it. It's just like,
But shit is going down, please.
John Carpenter, he clearly hates commercialism.
This is how he felt the time actually had making this. Yeah, so you can tell this is like something he got so wrapped up and into. He just like wanted to make this movie no matter what, make it entertaining or not, just something he just wanted to share or spread in general. I guess it's how he conveyed it.
There's a fantastic quote in the movie where one of the newscasters, he's like, "These filmmakers like John Carpenter and Jorge Romero have gone too far."
That's at the very end.
Yes, I think before like the last shot. Yeah.
I think it's fantastic. I love
that. Yeah, that's so great. Yeah.
But yeah, Piper, he's pretty interested in what's going on in the church.
Yeah, because he sees the blind preacher who
the blind preacher. And I guess the guy
what's being said on the TV.
Yeah, and the guy who's in charge of the hobo camp, he's like, "Oh, you're making food until 4 a.m, were you?" And his excuse is, "Well, we got a lot of people to feed here."
Yeah.
So he pretty much just starts investigating, and as the film goes on, and he just goes into the church. Yeah. And he finds like this chemistry set, and then we actually see the glasses themselves.
Yeah, hidden really like cool. Behind the wall.
Yeah,
the church.
And then
sort of thing in the church are still going on about like how we're not going to reach enough people, and we need to get these things on the street now.
Mm-hmm.
There's sort of like an inner like conflict there.
I like how they just have speakers playing a pre-recorded mass.
Yeah, just to make sure
nobody questions what's going on in the church.
That should just be every church in general. That's like for us the same thing. It's the same thing said over and over. It's a loop. That's pretty much what it is.
To make sure that like
good metaphor, John Carpenter.
Or in the church, just make sure like they're still active.
Yeah.
Yes. Pretty much, yeah. Just so you see, like, oh yeah, they're going on about the same thing. It's just tape on a loop. It's just, might as well.
Yeah.
And that same scene where it's getting spreaded about, these guys, it's a bit before that, these guys are watching TV outside, and someone hacked the program and spreading messages about how the poor and the underclass are growing, racial justice and human rights are non-existent. And I thought to myself, what if the Wesley brothers from 2025 hacked into this program and spread those like same messages?
I was gonna bring it up till later, but there is another reference.
Yes, that's a 25 reference. Later on.
I'll bring it up when we get there.
That's one of the notes I took down. So yes, we'll get to that.
I'm good that you wrote it down too, because I was laughing.
I
had to pause the movie and just like, oh damn it.
Yeah.
So
I apologize on behalf of the podcast that we always bring it back to 2025. We can never escape.
Okay. The people who listen to the episode will know the pain we had to go through that movie. It's a classic episode. It came out 2 weeks ago. Yes.
But yeah, the church gets raided by the police.
Well, it's all like great how that's introduced, because Roddy Piper is like looking through the binoculars. Like it just shows like how like focused he is on this. Then like he's looking at the church while people inside are leaving. And then it just cuts up, and you see the helicopter, and then the music kicks in, and it's just so great.
I
It just
really
goes
like
from
the
like,
soundtrack.
oh yeah, it's a great soundtrack. Like,
Well,
gives you,
John
like,
composed it, so
yeah, I think this was his last like collaboration with Alan Howarth, who basically they collaborated throughout the 80s on a lot of things. So I think this was like the last time, which I guess sort of makes sense since this is the last film of his like 80s run, which was sort of considered his golden age.
I like how
Definitely.
think about it now. It's like how before it was like about showing just like the lower class people and whatnot, but then that's you get the higher class people finally coming in. It becomes like a dystopian world at this point when it's like the police are coming in and like destroying everything.
At first, it's like, okay, they're raiding the church because they know that they got, like, these people are trying to wake people up, but then they just say, oh, they've ran into that camp. Let's just tear it all down. Fuck
Oh yeah,
people.
they bring in the
Yeah.
dozers and
Yeah.
they tear
Yeah.
the whole thing down. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really messed up. Yeah.
Well, we see like when Piper's escaping from everything that's happening, he sees the preacher
And
who
the guy
he
on the
did have
TV,
he did have an interaction with him in the church.
very
The preacher
briefly.
knew that he wasn't one of the them.
One of them live.
Yeah, he wasn't one of the they lives.
I was
The
gonna call
aliens, they live.
I was gonna call them aliens because they look like aliens, and that's pretty much like
It's
what they are.
confirmed that
pretty
they
much.
are aliens.
It's,
Yeah.
it's extraterrestrial people. Yeah, they didn't mention aliens, so yeah, might as well. Yeah.
We'll talk more
Oh,
about
we
the
prefer
aliens
the
in a
term
sec.
extraterrestrials.
I mean, it sounds more cool. I think so.
Yeah. But yeah, the preacher and the guy who is the recording on the TV that they hack, him and the preacher are most likely beaten to death by the alien police or regular
Yeah.
police, even. Who knows? Because at that point, we don't know.
Yeah,
but
that's
it's also
true.
confirmed that, like, later on, that there are police officers who are a part of it that don't know. They're just like going along
They're
with the
just
system.
regular cops. Yeah.
Yeah, I was trying to do a job. Yeah, don't want any harm.
Yeah. But yeah, he
Like the one that
grabs
runs
one
away.
of the he helps one of the other kids escape who's there.
The kid who he got the binoculars from.
Yeah. He helps him. He gets him to a safe house with a couple of other people that are in there that we see a few times throughout the film. Then Piper goes back after everything's done. He goes back into the church and he finds a
Before
box.
that, I just like
of
how
the
you just see
glasses.
the aftermath of like what happened like the next morning. Like you just see, because you do spend a bit of time in that camp, and you sort of like get a sense of like the community there. Like, you know, they're having sausages, like cooking for each other and generally helping, and then you just see the aftermath the next morning. It just really like goes to show like how sort of evil this all is.
Yeah.
Scum.
Scum. Yeah.
Scummy aliens.
Piper. He gets the glasses. He's got the glasses now.
Yes. Yes.
He throws those bad boys on, and
It's a really
turns
cool
into
scene.
a David Lynch film.
It's
Everything's
really
black and white.
Well, it was yes. It was like an Elephant Man during that scene. It's really cool. It's a really well done scene. It's really well shot. It's him walking around, like you find everything finally coming to light. It's just the beginning of it, you know.
It is probably one of the best scenes John Carpenter ever did. Like at least the top 5. Just the way
when
it's,
he's
like,
walking down the street with the glasses, it's fantastic.
That's a really great
it's
scene.
Not like
yeah.
immediate, like just like if you were in his situation, like you would like slowly piece it together, like because
like it goes on for a while. Like, yeah,
and then he's just looking around like what's going on, and as he's slowly like piecing it all together, it's all great. It's masterfully shot and everything.
Well, the thing is, like it goes on for a while, which is like in a way, kind of the first half of the movie, like. It's like you're living also in a conspiracy because you just like Piper, you don't know quite what's going on yet, so you're just as confused as Piper along the way. So like him having his glasses on and figuring everything out, it's like you're seeing it through like literally his eyes, his sunglasses, everything like coming to light. It's a really great scene, like you're talking about. Probably
I also
one of the best scenes in the movie for me.
It becoming black and white because like the saying, like everything's not so black and white, but literally. When he puts the glasses on, it is black and white. Like you see the good and you see the bad with the glasses on.
Yeah, it's just how
And
matter of
the,
fact it is. The
Mhm.
subliminal messages like obey, marry, reproduce.
Yeah,
Funny being labeled as "this is your god."
that's
I'm glad,
that's probably the best one.
Yeah,
I'm glad you mentioned the Lynch black and white cinematography because like the black and white with like how the aliens look. Like the first time you see like an alien talking to Piper, like it's so cool. Like it's like, the way his mouth moves and that black and white. It looks so cool.
It's also
Yeah.
really jarring to him because that's the first time where the glasses truly reveal that there's other beings on Earth, and you can only see them with these glasses. And he starts to internalize it, like, what the fuck
oh
is
my
going
god.
on? Yeah,
And these people are still living on this Earth to this day, so it's relevant when it comes to that. Like these people are still out there. You know, these aliens are out there right now.
I guess
What?
that's sort of like. I guess what you're saying is like that
Yeah,
it's still
I thought it was shock to y'all. Yeah.
that's just nothing's changed basically.
No, but yeah, but so yes, these people are still out there. Yes, like if we were walking to a Costco, probably sunglasses, you get these people all over. Like you know, or
Yeah, upgrade your
Walmart.
membership. This is your
Yes,
new god.
yes, yes, exactly. That's not shocking at all. These people are still out there.
Thou shall consume Costco bulk.
Yeah. Also, just like on like the like social political commentary in this movie, like obviously like the context of it is like Reaganomics at the time, which was like the rich are getting richer and the poorer are getting poorer. It's sort of like not like specific enough that it's sort of always going to be people in power who try to control and benefit and exploit people of the lower class. The movie's still relevant.
I would say so. Yeah.
It'll probably be relevant till the end of time.
Yeah.
2025,
Truth be told.
especially. We're actually in 2025.
It'll be
It's gonna hold
relevant
up
till
greatly. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
People are very
2025, when
relevant.
it will probably be like erased from existence.
And communism would be illegal too, and Christianity is illegal. The aliens are gonna take over in 2025
I also want to talk about the alien design quickly.
Yeah,
really
please.
basic,
It's
but
a
it's really
part of the
cool.
movie.
Yeah, it is like
Exactly. It's so old timey, like B movie, like 50s with the black and white. It's like a throwback to like movies obviously John Carpenter loves and probably watched like so much as a kid.
Yeah, like it is like because it is a lower budget film. Like obviously it does look a bit goofy in a way, but it
Yeah.
sort of works.
More than
Also,
Like
works. Yeah, it's
the big
beautiful.
ball. It's basically like a skull with some purple skin on it, like the big red eyes
the
popping
colors
out.
are red, white, and blue on the aliens.
That is true. Yeah.
Like the American. So really, it's a great
God
little
bless
detail.
America. I guarantee
But
the
also-
aliens started in America.
What?
Here we go.
This is an alien.
Here we go. Now it gets me Simon Son versus Ethan the podcast now again.
Well, they sure as frick didn't
Goddamn.
start in Australia. Good day,
Okay.
mate. This is your new guy right here, love.
Well, they invented Vegemite, so that's up to you whether they're good guys or not.
Yeah, the aliens invented Vegemite and they got
Oh,
cheese.
Yes, that's
come
true.
on.
It's put it on the earth and spreading. Anybody who eats Vegemite is now an alien.
The aliens
good
invented
spread.
maple syrup, Vegemite, and Twinkies.
Yes. Oh, yes. Now it's featuring Ghostbusters. It's on Twinkies, so it makes sense.
So like the alien design is like so like iconic in a way that like it sort of like lives on beyond the film. Like you've seen like so many like other like pieces of media.
You're saying
like,
they live beyond the film?
yeah, sure. Like like alien design's been used in so many like things, and but sort of like as a life outside of the movie. Even then, it still always ties, but you know exactly where it's from and what it means.
Definitely. All right, let's get back to the plot here.
Mm-hmm.
Move this
But
along.
anyways, the alien design, the makeup, really great. Yeah.
It's a gold star.
Well, Piper, he goes into like a little grocery store, a little convenience store kind of thing.
Yeah.
He's still got the glasses on, so
he's seen just how like the aliens are just going around their daily lives.
yeah, like everything in the store is alienized, pretty much. All the magazines, I think some of the food items as well.
Yeah,
and then
it's just like a blank label, like with like one of the messages on it.
Yeah, like eat, drink, sleep kind of thing.
Yeah. Then you
And
get
then
cut to that bit on the TV.
Yeah. One of them bumps into him, and this is where he kind of loses it. He's like, "This ugly
It's
bitch
great.
over here." Yeah.
He just goes, "Well, excuse me." He's
Yeah.
like,
And
"Your head
he
looks
just
like it's
starts
selling the
insulting
cheese
her.
dip." And yeah,
He takes the glasses off. Yeah. He's like,
you see, when I have these glasses off, she looks like a regular person. Put them on,
like,
and
"Her ugly. You're okay."
this one real fucking
this
ugly.
is so funny. Yeah, so that's so fun to laugh during that.
That's what I'm saying. He's so freaking charismatic. He just makes all the lines work. Like when he's talking to Keith David, he's being humble. When he's here, he's freaking out. It's fantastic. He's a great actor when he's paired with the right director. But I've seen him do some pretty dog shit films.
Which will probably do episodes, more of a whole Piper month coming soon. Watching most movies.
Yeah, we'll do every single one.
For that.
What comes to Frogtown and the wrestling one?
Wrestlers vs. Zombies.
Whatever, yeah. Plants vs. Zombies, except for wrestlers, yes.
Well, they all start like, oh god, he can see us. So they're all on their little
got one that
wristwatches,
can see.
communicating to head
You got the store owner who also goes, "That's enough out of you, out of my store." Like, funny way he says it.
Now I talk about this, I'd have to think about
oh, hi, Robbie. I didn't recognize you.
Oh, dude, I was gonna make a room reference. Holy shit, the flower scene. Time where he's walking through the room with his shades, but so the thing with sunglasses. Yes, you beat me to it.
Zoe is probably one of those aliens.
Probably, yes.
He's an alien in training. He's just got his human skin.
He's trying to learn, yes.
Yeah, that's why it looks like it's melted off.
Okay, now this movie would be like you go to Facebook headquarters, you see Mark Zuckerberg come to glasses. He is like the leader of the aliens. He's the lizard man.
Probably what Facebook headquarters looks like. There's a big dimensional
that's what I imagine it.
portal to the lizard home planet.
That's what I imagine it as. Yes, Mark Zuckerberg is the leader of the lizard people aliens.
Yeah. Well, then
remake.
Some alien police. Well, Piper's.
Well, it's not great how they all start talking into the wristwatch in sync almost.
Yeah.
Really adds to oh, we are so outnumbered here. So, Roddy Piper leaves the store and he's still walking around. Has time to insult another alien.
Well, yeah. Well, then the aliens. Well, two pairs of alien cops. They throw him in the alley. And then he tells him, he's like, well, you look just as ugly to us as we do to you. Piper's like, oh, I frickin' doubt that.
But it's also sort of great how the cops try to defuse the situation in a way, which we learn later on.
Which cops never try to do in real life.
Yeah, that's how you know they're aliens.
American commentary. It never gets old.
God damn you both.
Ethan's having none of this.
No, y'all hate on my people. No. That's my people 1988.
There's only two countries, America and terrorists.
The rest of the world, no. America's the first world country, okay? Respect this movie, okay? John Carpenter is the American elderly man as Prime.
Well, no, he's immortal, if you like, because he's always
Yes, he's always been old. That's what I'm talking about this in chat the other day. He's always been so old. He's never been young once in his life. He was born with that white hair and mustache.
Yeah, you look at photos from as far back as Halloween. He
still has that so mustache
and hair.
He's so old, yes. It's weird.
So Piper hits one of the cops with a clothesline.
And then starts beating them.
Yeah, he basically beats the shit out of them. He kills them both.
He uses
steals their
those
weapons.
pro wrestling moves.
And he heads straight for a bank.
And we get possibly the greatest line in the whole film.
The
most iconic and famous line.
Let's have Ethan read the line out.
Okay, yeah, I wrote it down because good. So before I saw this movie, by the way, it's my first time seeing it. This is the only part I've seen this movie is he walks into the bank, he has his sunglasses on, and he says, "I've come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass." And I was like, and he's like, "And I'm all out of bubblegum." This is the best way to end it too. It's so great.
Yeah, and everyone in the bank is just they know, oh shit.
Yeah.
He starts mowing down the aliens with his shotgun.
Yeah, the aliens in the bank, not
and then one of them, he gets on his communicator and he points the gun at him. He's like, "Mama don't like no tattletales."
Yes.
which is also a really funny line.
It's so random too, because like he didn't have any bubble gum in the first place, but the fact that it came so naturally, like I wonder if that's improvised or not, because it's so perfect, like it had to be
I think
improvised.
Roddy Piper brought that line in, yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised considering, like I said, he's a talker. He talks.
Yeah, he's a wrestler, so he has to be. Yeah, it's a part of his game.
Mm-hmm. So, well, then this is also where we find out that the aliens, like, they're communicators. They're also transporters.
They also have, but then he gets out of the bank and he holds up a cop who's normal and he doesn't mow down. Then we also see like the little like stop motion like flying saucer, which sort of like again it's sort of like a throwback to those old timey B movies John Carpenter obviously loves.
A lot of B movies throwbacks, yeah.
And he just shoots it.
Yeah,
which he has another one-liner before he shoots it.
Yeah.
This is also where we meet Meg Foster. She's the female actress. I think that's the actress's name.
Yeah, it's Meg Foster.
Yeah, I just wrote down "Can't Trust a Woman."
I thought that too. I'm not sure if you want to wait to the end to say that, but I was like, yeah, I think I just here Never Trust a Woman list.
Well, even when I was a kid, like, and I first saw her, I was like, nope, don't do it.
Yeah, I mean, she's just one of those actresses you get to like play villains in a way.
She also just looks like a massive bitch.
Yeah, look at her eyes. Like she looks like she strangles cats twice a week. She gives her cat and brown stuff.
Reserved and deadpan she is.
Yeah, so her dead eyes. Look at her. She looks like she again drowns cats in the lake. It's messed up. Look at her eyes. It's horrible.
I guess I would like to mention because there is sort of like a Roddy Piper sort of does later have a thing for her. You know, it's like very underdeveloped.
It really is.
It is very underdeveloped.
So underdeveloped. I forgot that romance is even sort of a setup until you mentioned that.
It's almost like there is a missing scene in between what happens next and later on.
It's only like that one bit they interact in her house.
So essentially he kidnaps her because he's on the lam now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And he makes her take him back to her house. And he starts explaining things. He's like, when I put these glasses on, everything's revealed, yada, yada. Yeah. And he's like, you should put them on. She's like, if I put them on, I'm only going to see what you want me to see. Yeah.
But he also establishes that the sunglasses give you a really bad headache. And
yeah,
which goes on. Keith David later on.
Yeah, he tells him that again later. I have a question about that later, because later on in the film, they don't have the glasses on, and they can still see them for who they are.
Putting contacts.
Yeah, contacts, yeah.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, it's the contacts, yeah.
I completely forgot about that.
Oh.
No, it's not a plot hole, yeah. It's just, contact, yeah.
I don't know. I just missed that. I don't know.
I thought you were a true fan, Simon.
I know.
I guess I didn't watch the movie this week.
Yes. Well, Simon's the one that picked this movie, so it's kind of his lead.
I picked it.
Yeah. Yes.
It was a good pick.
The week. Yeah.
Great pick.
Yeah. I'm glad
good
I
on
get
you.
To talk
You've
about one of my
redeemed
favorites
yourself for the 2025 incident.
That's very true, yes. And he picked a movie I liked, so you get my approval, so thank you.
Yeah.
It's funny, the only time she shows emotion in this movie, she picks up a bottle, she does like a spinning back fist with the bottle and throws him. She does
the window
and throws him out the window with it.
I mean, why did that scene? It
also establishes asks this question why is he still so trusting of her? Later on.
Oh yeah, and then she calls the cops right after.
Yeah.
Once it happened, I was like, what the? I rewinded it, just watched it again. I was like, what the hell? I just had to.
But it also establishes that she works at the, cable, news station.
The television station,
yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, that stunt looked like it freaking hurt.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah!
I don't know who did the stunt. I don't think Piper did it, but whoever did it, oh my god, that looked painful.
Props to you, stuntman.
At first, I had the thought it was Piper, but at the same time, I don't think they would risk the lead man getting hurt like that. It doesn't seem sensical to me.
Because that was a straight jump out of the window onto the hill.
He's a wrestler, but he's not like Jackie Chan. He's not invincible. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, after that he he walks back into the city, now being a wanted man.
Yeah.
So it's just starting to go down for him. Yeah, he's wanted by this point. People know his face.
He goes back to the construction site and he finds Keith David, aka Frank.
Frank.
I just call him
Frank.
Keith David.
Frank just wants nothing to do with him now. After
absolutely not.
Yeah.
He's just murdered a bunch of people.
Yeah. He tells him that he's like, you are a wanted fugitive. Like you just murdered a bunch of people in a friggin' bank. He's like, they weren't people, and he's like, god.
He just goes, not people, and yeah. It's also great later because like after like Roddy Piper goes to get the glasses, then realizes they're being put in a garbage truck, which he then goes in to get. Yeah, it's all like a great little tense moment. Where you're like, oh no. Yeah, but then Frank shows up again and gives him a week's pay.
Gives him 1 week's pay.
Which just like shows that like he's still like a good person, like overall.
I wonder how many takes it took Keith David to get the money in that box.
Oh yeah,
that was perfect. That was a perfect throw.
I like to imagine he did it on first try.
I'd hope so. I wish this whole thing was just one long take.
It's just not like
leads into
Birdman anymore. Yeah.
It leads into the greatest fight scene ever put to camera.
Okay, so we want to talk about the fight scene now.
Yeah, because Piper wants Keith David to put the glasses on so he can see the world as it actually is, to show him that he's not lying and what he did was justified. And Keith David is like, no, I got a wife, I got kids, I don't want anything to do with you.
Anything to do with you, you lunatic, yeah.
Yeah. So then they just start beating the shit out of each other for 10 minutes straight.
Yeah, Simon said he would break down the wrestling moves during the scene. So, like, yeah, let's go through this scene.
Because I always imagine, like, a lot of this, like, fight scene must have come from, like, Roddy Piper.
Oh, no doubt.
Yeah, he's like, we got a pro wrestler here.
Did you guys know at WrestleMania, Roddy Piper actually boxed Mr. T?
Oh, really?
Oh.
It was.
You know nothing about
rigged.
wrestling, right?
Yes, it was Mike Kadabi, yes.
Well, it was because it's scripted and everything like that. But if Piper, you could see when actually watching it, you could see that Piper, if he wanted to, could have knocked Mr. T out, no problem, because Mr. T was gassed right away.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so they start throwing a couple punches at each other. Keith gets his punches in. Piper gets his punches in. He just wants them to put the damn glasses on.
Yes, it goes on for a bit.
Piper gets behind Keith and he hits him with a back body drop. That's when they were up against the wall and he went behind. Yeah. So he hits him with a back body drop. He's like, put the glasses on.
Well, then there's like the bit where like Roddy Piper like aims for Keith David's crotch and he's like, you dirty motherfucker.
Yeah, well then later on Keith David
crotch shots.
Keith David starts kneeing him in the shot.
Yeah,
crotch so like 10 times.
That hurt. Yes, my God, I know that move too.
This sort of shows like how like at this point he just like wants it to be over with. It is like a long fight scene, which is so great about.
They
how,
keep
like,
fighting.
Exhausted they look
Piper
by
actually
the end.
locks in crossface chicken wing. That's when he had his arm around his throat and he had the other arm locked in. That was one of his finishers in the WWF. Ethan's like, oh, cool.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't want to
Very
wrestling.
interesting.
I don't know what to say. Yeah, like,
well, we're gonna have to watch the wrestler eventually, so you're gonna have.
Okay, that move. I honestly I got confused if it was like either Monster Brawl or Wrestle you want to watch. Wrestle I do want to see actually. It's and it looks intriguing. It looks very dramatic. I'm looking forward to that.
So when Piper has the crossface chicken wing in, Keith David actually does a wrestling move on Piper. He picks him up and he kind of does like a little pump handle slam kind of thing.
Either Keith David has kicked many guys' asses before, or Piper taught him how to do that.
Hard to say. Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if like Piper choreographed this.
Yeah, that's what I said before.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then Piper, when Piper grabs Keith David by the waist and he throws him on the concrete, that's called a gut wrench suplex. So he hits him with one of those.
Do people still use that move now?
What?
Do people still use that move now?
Sometimes.
Okay.
Sometimes. A lot of people use the backdrop.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that was like a thing, like big thing wrestlers did like then. It's just not like the thing now or whatnot.
Yeah. Well, each wrestlers have different gimmicks and they have different move sets and such.
Yeah, I figured. Yeah,
Like John Cena, he does the back body drop. The move that Keith David actually does to Piper, Cena would do that as well.
Okay, maybe an
These are
inspiration.
what he does in the film are pretty common moves. Not a lot of people use the crosswing chicken face anymore, though.
Yeah. So whatever Jordy Verrill was watching in Creepshow, the wrestling match, guess what they did?
That's like old school, yeah.
Yeah, 1982.
Yeah, which is funny because Bob Backlund, who was in that, his finishing move was also the crossface chicken wing. So there you go. It's all connected.
Oh my! If I say I want to make the Creepshow connection, yes, I have to because I love Creepshow so much.
Yeah, but then Piper continues to beat the shit out of Keith David. They're still fighting, which I love how long this goes on for. He breaks like Keith David's car window, presumably. I think.
That's my favorite bit of the fight because he like picks up that wooden plank and it's not Keith David's like car window. It's just a random car that happens to be there. But he's like swinging at him. Then he hits the glass and realizing that he could have like almost killed him, and he's like going too far.
Yeah,
Piper's like, oh, you know what? I'm actually really sorry about this. And then Keith David like tries to break the bottle to stab him, but he just breaks the whole bottle.
And then Roddy Piper just laughs at him.
And then they continue to punch each other. So eventually, we can't really do this fight scene justice, no matter how much we talk about it. It's something you have to go see for yourself.
That, like, I think everyone's seen it. Even if you haven't seen the movie, like, you probably have seen this already.
The thing is, it goes on for so long, and it's like from a wrestler and like an actor like Keith David, you just have to watch it for yourself to see how long it goes. Like the whole thing is on YouTube. You don't have to look hard.
Yeah,
it's been parodied in South Park, as I said before. So.
Eventually, Piper gets the upper hand, and he finally gets the glasses.
There's a bit like before that, like where like Keith David, like it looks like Keith David's won, and he just goes up to him and says, "Fuck you." And he like walks off to like catch his breath, and Roddy Piper gets back up, and the fight continues for a bit longer.
Oh no, he goes up behind Keith David, and he just punches him in the kidney.
God!
Like this fight is brutal. Like they just beat the absolute shit out of each other. And you see the aftermath of it later when they're going to the hotel.
Yeah, to clean up. But yeah. Roddy Piper eventually gets the glasses on Frank or Keith David or whatever we're calling him, and he like shows him the aliens. Like, look at them.
Like, they see us. Report.
Yeah. So now like Keith David's awake, and then they just walk around some more and eventually go to a hotel so they can like
Keith
clean
David
up.
is finally woke.
Tish.
Yeah.
I also love the shot when they like approach like the like front register of the hotel, and you just like see them like their faces are just all beaten and bloody.
That's when you really see the aftermath of what happened. Yeah, that's when you really start to see their faces.
And Keith David's just like, I want a room.
Yeah. They're they get the hotel room. They're in the hotel room. They're talking to each other about their past.
Yeah, this is sort of like where you like learn a bit more about Roddy Piper, his character, not the actual guy. have to preference that.
They learn about a meeting for the resistance.
Yeah, because they happen to encounter the guy who was like leading.
Yeah, the guy who was at the church earlier. Yeah, the one that didn't get beaten to death.
Yeah, the one who made it out, and it's just like, we got a meeting here. Show up.
Yeah.
They go to this meeting, and as we said before, this is where they get the contacts, so they don't need the glasses anymore.
Yeah.
Simon.
This is also this is where we see her again, where we see Meg.
Where Holly shows up, and it's
and Piper just goes up to her. He just immediately forgives her.
Yeah, it's so weird in a way.
So not a porn. I forgot about it.
I think he just kind of forgives her because of the fact that she's at the meeting.
Yeah, but he doesn't really question why she's at the meeting. Just like
no, not at all.
The fact that he's here. Yeah.
Well, before he knows that she's there, she says that she she's like, it's not coming from where you think it's coming from. It's a major broadcast and all this.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then he goes over, he talks to her. It's not crazy important. I don't know why it's such a drastic change.
Like, I love this movie, like, to death. It's one of my favorites, but, like, the ending, in a way, is a bit, like, sort of sloppy. It's sort of like a case of, we need to get here now and do this now.
We'll get there. We'll get there. I also have a little bit of a problem with...
No, shit, no returns to Twin Peaks. Like, season 2, like, mid-season 2. It's just like, what the hell? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm on that one.
You had your time to talk about wrestling.
Yes.
You can talk about Twin Peaks.
Yeah, please. I know, yes.
But there's a wrestler in this movie. David Lynch is not in this.
I got to make a Lynchian connections, okay?
Kyle is not in this.
He should be. He's a beautiful man. It's a 1988. Yes, he should. He doesn't want to be in a John Carpenter movie. He can show off. Piper can show off his muscles all he wants, but Kyle, that's
All right, we're back. The bot died because it didn't want to hear about David Lynch anymore.
okay. Maybe people will hear about wrestling over and over again. Okay.
Okay, so we were up to the bit where, let's just continue now.
Yeah, we're at the Believers meeting, and they get raided real hard. Pretty much everyone gets murdered except for.
It's all like
Keith
right
David
before how
and
that like people in the place are like, well, we guys time to start shedding some blood, and they're like, oh look, we don't have enough people here yet. So it's all like just shows how almost hopeless the situation is in a way. Then of course it gets raided, and basically all those characters you saw at that little homeless community get like horrifically murdered.
Yeah, they all get shot up by the elite, the A team as they're called.
Yeah. Meg Foster just somehow manages to slip by and
She
get
just
out.
disappears. Yeah.
She disappears from the movie again.
Maybe she used her watch.
Oh, that is true.
Yeah.
Yes.
As we see, like Piper shoots one of them, and the watch falls and malfunctions, and opens a portal.
What happens is
them.
one of the just before the place gets raided, like one of the guys has like managed to get one of the wrist watches from them, and he's like trying to figure out how they do the teleport thing, and like Roddy Piper just gets out and holds onto it. Then they're shooting. They're shooting in the alley, having a bit of a shootout. Watch malfunctions, and then it just causes that hole in the ground and takes them exactly where they need to go.
I think it takes them to home base, pretty much.
Yeah, which is where they need to go, which is sort of like convenient for like so the plot can happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the final act of this movie is a bit sloppy, but I still forgive it because it's still entertaining and
the last 30 minutes is all action.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're in the home base, the mother base, and they're walking around the underground. And this is like this thing that's always sort of like it's not really bothered me, but it's always like raised questions. We see like one of the aliens is holding like the EKE meter from Ghostbusters.
It's like a fancy ballroom, yeah.
And so it's like, why is that prop in this movie? It's sort of like I don't know, it's just always been really weird to me.
It's also kind of like, why not? They're rich alien invaders, and they say by 2025 they will have completely assimilated the planet. Fuck's sake.
Oh yeah, god damn it.
God, I was like, we can't escape this.
So I had a waffle in my throat, but I wrote down Roddy Piper and Keith David. Yes, just the listeners, I'm having some delicious waffles. I had like 4 pieces earlier, and 3 of them are already gone, so they're really good. Yeah. And so I wrote down Roddy Piper and Keith David. Here we go. No, not the xenophobia again, please. We're talking about an American Prime movie. A theme still relevant in America today, so I can identify with this movie more than you. Both ever could.
Oh.
All right. So Roddy Piper and Keith David.
Piper's Canadian, though.
Well, Keith David isn't, okay? He's the exact opposite.
But he's also the Thing, so...
Oh yeah, that is
Okay,
true. Spoilers
oh,
for the
yeah.
thing, everybody. We're sorry.
Wow, yeah, spoiler, wow, yeah. Jesus Christ.
Trusted.
So they go to his elegant dining room, and the speaker of the room says, like Simon said, our projections showed that by the year 2025, not only America, but the entire planet would be under the protection and dominion of this power alliance, which is wrong because it turns out in 2025, communism is illegal, and Christianity is illegal, and a global virus developed. So it's not like, true at all.
Communism, it's all over the place, guys.
Yes, that's how it's gonna
Ice
go.
cream's illegal.
That is John Carpenter crap.
This movie was so like ahead of its time and managed to predict terrible movies like nearly 30
Maybe the
years
aliens
later.
outlawed Christianity.
Sweet. We get
Well,
the
if that was the
boomer
case,
John
then I'm rooting
Carpenter
for the
versus the
aliens.
Chad Wesley brothers.
I was rooting for the
What?
bad guys in that movie anyways. But yeah, they get
Okay,
taken
but
aside
here-
by this rich business boy.
Oh, that guy's like, was shown earlier in the camp as well. Like,
Yeah.
and also that actor is George Buck Flower, who was like during that time in the 80s was the guy you got to like play a homeless bum. Like he was in a whole bunch of things like Back to the Future. He was the bum in that, and a whole
Yeah,
bunch
they
of
like
others.
they assimilated him, I guess.
Yeah, so it sure shows that really anyone can be bought out in this world.
Mm-hmm. I didn't know
So
he
yeah,
was he was in The Fog as well.
he was in a couple of John Carpenter
Escape,
movies as well before this.
from New York. Yeah.
Yeah, he was the bum in that as well.
Yeah.
Just made a career of playing bums.
Was he the bum in Back to the Future?
Yeah, he was.
Yeah,
He was one of
this
those
guy.
crazy drunk drivers. Yeah, that was
Yeah.
him. Yeah, but he's like obviously he's been like fully absorbed by this like the consumerism and like
Yeah, and he's now super articulate.
yeah, but and he's just like just to show off his like power, he's like showing them around, and when you see where the aliens sort of come from, they're being like transported across the galaxy and stuff.
Yeah, bending light and stuff like that. He gives a vague description because who cares how they
Yeah, it's not
do
not
it.
important.
It's not
We just-
important.
but yeah, then we get into like the TV station, which is it just happens to connect to this place.
Mm-hmm. It's under the TV station.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is funny because their big meeting ballroom thing is under the TV station.
Yeah. Yeah, so they get to a TV station and Roddy Piper's like, can we have a look in there? I always wanted to be on television. And of course, the guy who's just like so
Will you
obsessed
be
with being
serious?
like powerful was like, yeah, those guys over there, personal friends of mine. And then Keith David and Roddy Piper just pull out their handguns and blast the aliens.
Yeah, it's like I got my pass right here, buddy. Pew 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 pew.
Yeah, but it's also great later because okay. Oh god, my thing fell out. But yeah, I got so absorbed in Simon's recreation that my earphones fell off.
It's George
Earbuds.
Lucas impression.
Yeah, they
Yeah, but it's
stormed the
also
building.
Yeah, but before that, like George Buckflower was like, God damn it, he's just like, what's the harm? We always sell out. We'll be on the winning team. Then yeah, he bugs off and teleports away, and then Roddy Piper
And then he
Keith
throws a
David-
grenade. And it's like,
Okay.
and then they just start shooting everything. Bang!
I try to talk about the movie, and this is what I get.
Well, that's what happened in
Yeah.
the movie. Pew pew.
You
bang,
signed up
bang.
for this. You signed up with two 10-year-olds. You signed us up for this.
But yeah, we get a simple but great action scene where fucking Roddy Piper just storming the building, mowing everyone down, all the aliens down. They got to get to the roof and
Yeah, he tells them that the satellite that broadcasts it's also like the signal, but also like cloaks the aliens from human
Yeah.
sight, and that's
There's
why you need
also,
the
like,
glasses
a
or the
bit-
contacts.
It's also a bit weird because like the fact that the aliens only really have this one satellite to sort of like cover them up. It's just like on the top.
Is that satellite just for their area, their city?
Think so. I guess that's the point. But at the same time, I think if you're like a alien race, like trying to like control people, and this was like your only means of like covering yourself up, you would like have that a bit more guarded, or maybe have a bit more of a backup plan.
I think it's also like the aliens they're so full of themselves.
Yeah, I guess that's also a part of it as well.
And they also thought like really nobody would ever get this far.
Yeah, I guess that's another point as well. Yeah, sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they go through the building. They happen to run into Meg Foster again.
Oh,
which is like a bit that always gets me upset.
Yeah,
like they do with Keith David here.
Keith David gets done dirty.
I guess it like surely goes to show how like ruthless they are, but at the same time,
this is my least favorite part.
Yeah, he's just like Meg Foster, just so quick as well.
You see her pulling out the gun, and she just puts it to her head, bang.
But even like it just cuts to white, and then up.
Well, yeah, no, you hear a bang.
Yeah,
you hear a.
Yeah.
Pew, pew. But
yeah, but it's all worth it at this end.
Head and dies.
But then Roddy Piper is ready to like destroy the satellite, but then Meg Foster's like, "Don't do it. You've lost.
Don't do it."
Yeah, she's still very like robotic and deadpan, which
we are everywhere. You cannot win.
I think about drowning cats. Watch us happening too, but deadpan eyes.
Yeah, so Roddy Piper pulls out a handgun he was hiding, shoots Meg Foster, then turns to turns to the satellite, and then he just says "fuck it" and just shoots it.
Yeah, and then he gets shot.
Because of course, one line before it happens, you gotta do that.
It is a great line. Just fuck it.
Might as well. It's kind of sums up, like I said, like the last 30 minutes. Kind of anything could happen. It's just, why not? Let's do it.
Mm-hmm. It's all like, what happens to our main character? He's like, oh, he dies. I don't know.
Yeah, pretty much.
They both die. Still, whatever.
But it's just great to like when he's on the ground and he's like last bits, he just flips off the aliens.
Fuck you.
It's great.
Mm-hmm. And then we, now that the satellite's down, the aliens don't have their cloaking on them anymore. So we get, we get a couple reveals. Like one guy's in a bar watching TV, and they all just start staring at him.
The one we referenced earlier, where Siskel.
Oh no, that's the very last one. That's the very last one.
That's the second last one.
Oh yeah, the news guy where he says, John Carpenter and Romero have gone too far.
Yes, I love that.
Roger Ebert.
Yeah,
what?
A fucking hack.
It is. It's like a parody of them.
Oh, okay.
Look up the still again. It's exactly Roger Ebert.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to. Yeah, I'm gonna go. They live Siskel and Ebert if it's actually them.
I wouldn't be surprised if they were aliens.
It is sort of like great because like it's Gene Siskel who's saying all this sex and violence. It really has me like got me done. George Romero and John Carpenter need social restraint, which is like horrifically accurate to like many of Gene Siskel's takes on horror movies. Yeah, it's shockingly accurate.
A mass Blue Velvet take of David Lynch, so yeah, it makes total sense. So I love it.
Yeah, they're hacks. Yeah,
Gene Siskel did defend Blue Velvet. It was Roger Ebert who was very much.
Well, sorry, it was Ebert. Yeah, I think I did say Ebert, but yeah, Siskel was. He liked to dig Blue Velvet. As he should.
For them influential, but they did have their weird takes now and again. I'll just say that.
Yeah.
No,
they're getting critic, I guess.
So
okay, yeah.
they're entertaining. I like them.
I really like the last shot of this movie, so we just get a big, nice pair of tits.
Right? Oh yeah! Oh my God! Yes.
She looks down and he's like, "What's wrong?" And she's fucking one of the aliens. And this is one of the first time.
She like looks at the TV. It's like a commercial's playing. One of the aliens on it. She looks down and it's just like, "Hey, what's wrong, baby?"
Yeah, this is the final shot too. It goes to the question like, "Oh, there."
This is like the only time where we kind of get like a more full shot of what they look like.
Yeah, and red, white, and blue.
It's just a regular dude's body, but he's purple.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's got some purple on him.
I know, just that ending. The whole movie, 5 out of 5 from me. Just saying, this
Oh,
is
yeah,
one of
I
my
love it.
all-time favorites.
I-
Even though it, like
I
as we
watched-
said before, it does have problems, but it's
Yeah.
just so rewatchable, entertaining to me that I just don't care.
I watched the Shout Factory collector's edition Blu-ray release of this, and it looks fantastic.
I like
yeah,
the cover.
it's-
I'd look at the cover again, but judging off your Blu-ray collection video, it looks really cool.
Oh, it's a fantastic cover. It gives you everything you need. And it doesn't just have Piper and one of the aliens on it. It's got Keith David, a bunch of the aliens. And yeah, it's good stuff. It's
And
good
the
art.
theatrical poster is also great as well. Just
Oh,
like,
yeah.
you know, it's close up of Roddy Piper and the alien in the sunglasses.
The
It's a great
glasses, yeah.
poster.
It is a really good poster. But
Do we just want to briefly touch on like John Carpenter's career after this?
I was
Yeah,
gonna say,
sure.
I think it's like, oh, you know
Is
more
this
about this than me, Saw, because you've actually seen them. But I've heard like after in the '90s, it gets pretty weird. I think it's like
well,
interesting.
he did-
Well, this was his
last
last
point.
film of like, I guess you could say, his golden age, from like Assault on Precinct 13 in the 70s to like this, which was 1988. And like, I don't want to
Mhm.
say it was like a sudden drop off in quality, because I guess you had Memoirs of an Invisible Man, which came after this. It's just sort of like okay, but then after that you get In the Mouth of Madness, which I would say is a like great and is on par with like his like cult classics from the 80s. It's after
Yeah.
that one where it sort of like goes like all around the place in terms of quality. Like Vampires is a guilty pleasure.
Vampires
for me.
is Vampires.
Yeah, it is what it is. But then you get
Yeah.
stuff like Escape from LA and like Ghosts of Mars.
I
which is-
like
which-
Escape from LA.
Ghosts of Mars. Can we agree that's fucking
Ghost
terrible?
of Mars is a horrible film.
Yes.
The editing is horrible. The acting is dog shit. Like it looked like nobody cared. Like it didn't even seem like John cared.
Oh yeah, that's the thing. Like, it's because like if you look like it is like other films, like even his weakest ones, like before that, like they sort of like I wouldn't say he's not a flashy like look at me, I'm the big filmmaker guy.
Mhm.
He did what he was great. He always got like good shot composition. Like he was always great at directing your eye and like showing like what you needed to know in the frame.
Mhm.
But Ghosts of Mars is just very like, oh, let's just shoot it like that, point and shoot, got it, move on.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
it's
terrible.
it's also like all over the place.
Yeah, it's like a flashback within a flashback. It's also another flashback.
Yeah.
Written by Nolan.
Mm.
Yeah.
It all
Yeah.
comes together, doesn't it?
John Carpenter is
Indeed.
one of my favorite filmmakers just during that golden age he'd had.
Yeah, the 80s, like just
It was classic after
Just a-
classic.
fantastic run.
I've enjoyed everything I've seen from him, and this was no exception for me, really.
We asked like which ones you've seen.
You've
I've
seen
seen-
Halloween, The Thing, Escape from
Yeah,
New York.
Well, I haven't seen Escape from New York. I haven't. Hold on, let me see. Which
I
one
guess
I've
that's
seen.
gonna be my next pick at some
You've seen
point in
Christine.
the future.
I've seen The Thing, Halloween, The Fog, and Christine, and now They Live.
Like I
Some
wouldn't
say
say
solid-
They Live.
solid
if it
films
were-
right there.
If I was being objective about it, like They Live isn't probably like his best film, but for me anyway, it's like by far his like most rewatchable and entertaining. My
I'd say
opinion anyway.
They Live and The Thing are tied for my favorite Carpenter.
Yeah, like I love them both for different reasons.
Mhm.
The Thing is like obviously like a masterpiece of horror, while They Live is just a fun, schlocky like B movie done like on an A level like skill production way. I have no idea what
Yeah.
I'm saying, but I just love They Live. Okay.
Ethan, what do you?
Yeah.
This has become one of the
Yeah.
most infamous parts of our podcast. What did you rate the film?
Well, I was gonna get to that. You saw something rewatchable. I thought it was interesting because, like, I think this is like a movie that would benefit from a rewatch because, like, this is my first time seeing it, and as I was watching it, I thought there was like times where like the pace like could like dragged a bit, and especially after you get awesome moments like I've come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. Like you expect that to be like the peak, but obviously it outdoes himself like with the end and all that, and it's moments like after that like the pace kind of drags a bit. I mean, it's still like like it's still some good world building, but like still, it's things start to pick up again. But once Roddy Piper and Keith David like get together, that's when you start to get the appeal of a movie like this. It's at that point where it's like impossible like not to sit back and enjoy watching these aliens like get what's coming to them, as y'all know because I'm seeing it. So after finishing it, like I do think this would be a good rewatch movie, especially like, when you know what to expect and like how it's gonna happen, how it's gonna play out with like different eyes or sunglasses, I should say. But just talking about it with y'all, I did really like it though. Overall, this is it's a good. I like think about like a concept of like putting on these sunglasses and seeing these people for who they really are, with the social commentary, just how it's conveyed, and how John Carpenter gets so like obviously wrapped up into this, especially at the times. And like I said, it's like, you can still say it's relevant now because if you have these glasses on, you would still get people like this like still like today, for like obvious reasons we don't need to get into.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, yeah. So 3 point, like a solid like 3.5 out of 5 for me. It could be a 4 on a rewatch. Who knows? But I did really like it. What are you going? I liked it. More than a lot more than BCon Rewind for sure.
Saw it get on the plane.
Yeah, I actually got no.
Okay, I'll
actually,
drive to Sydney Airport right now. Get like a good hour's drive.
I'll head to the YYC right now. Yeah.
Never good enough for y'all.
Take the
I
first
watched
flight to
movies. I'm
Nebraska.
never good enough for y'all. I don't understand. What
No,
does
no,
work for
you
you?
sat here talking about how much you liked it, and they're like 3.5.
Yeah,
I'm happy. I'm
Definitely.
happy you like this one. I'm happy.
I did. I'm glad you read this one. I thought
It's like a
I think
woman
this would be a
can't
good
be
episode.
satisfied. Fuck.
I guess I'm a feminine part of me, a femboy, the bitchy part of me, I guess.
Go drink your mineral water.
My brother's plenty, so that's no problem at all.
But just out of the mini fridge.
Yes.
It's just filled with Perrier. So yeah, They Live.
Good movie.
Fantastic film.
Yeah, really good. Yeah, I think it's something I like to rewatch.
3.5 good. Huh?
Yeah, exactly.
That's 5 out of 5 good for me.
Good. Yeah,
5 out of 5 for me too, and a little heart.
Okay, well they love everything.
I gave it a heart as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
We give our hearts to cinema. What do? Sit there and eat corn dogs.
I do a whole show for y'all for these movies. Okay,
can you make a video on your channel and of you just making corn dogs?
Yes, I'm gonna do that. Like a corn dog review a movie.
We'll hold you to that. We'll bring it up every episode until you actually make it.
Okay, it's coming. It comes sooner than you think.
All right. Our next topic is childhood trauma. Related to cinema, so like movies that scared us. Yeah, because if we were to go into other stuff, this would get really dark. Really fast.
It'd be like crying. Yeah, no.
Yeah. we're about having a good time here and reinforcing a positive way of thinking. We try to. But
we be ourselves in general. Yeah. I think that's what this show should be. It's us. Cinema. Yes, this whole show is being off of the cinema. Yes.
Who wants to go first?
I can go first if you guys
want. I mean, yeah, sure.
Movies don't really scare me because even at a young age, I kind of knew like it's all made up kind of thing.
Yeah,
like it's fake. It's for entertainment purposes. But there is a film when I was younger called The Brothers Grimm that is so fucking disturbing. Like
it's really bad.
I hate that scene. Well, there's multiple scenes actually where it's just like, oh, why the hell did my grandma let me watch this kind of thing? I don't even think it's rated that. I think it's like rated PG.
Rated M here, which is like PG-13.
Yeah, it's really disturbing. So like the first one is like the little boy gets. I haven't seen this movie in a while. Does the horse scene or the goose scene happen first, Ethan? You've watched it fairly recently.
I haven't seen it.
It's a horse scene that comes first before.
Okay, so the kid in the movie, he goes to the stables to check on the little horsey. It's just making noise. It's like, oh, little boy, he check on the horsey. That's cute. Because I'm big Western fans. Horses are a pretty big part of Western movies. But
Yeah, beautiful
after what
horses.
happens next, I kind of looked on horses a little differently. The horse shoots a fucking spider web out of its mouth and drags the kid into its fucking stomach. You know, I was not ready for that when I was younger. And there's scenes of him getting pulled into the horse.
Yes.
And the horse
like
like
getting bored.
charges. Yeah.
He's really getting bored. Yes. It's really horse
Kid
bored.
gets bored. Yeah, not my thing.
Can I just ask? Do you think because vor is like a pretty big fetish on the internet?
Oh, for sure. Yeah,
I think
love
Terry
it.
Gilliam is definitely into it.
Do you think this scene could have an impact on some young impressionable minds?
I think so. Yeah.
I think we also have to look at this because it's not a human voring a human. It's a horse, a male horse.
Very, very, very horse. Yeah.
And he's also a child, so I would hope not. Because we have to think about the context of the
different
scene.
Ways.
It's a terrible fetish.
It's disgusting. Why? I don't get it. The belly is for food and babies sometimes.
No, it's a great form of intimacy. You don't understand.
Yeah. Fuck
very
off.
Intimate. It's very intimate. That's the
Go
thing,
suck
though.
a toe, you pervert.
It's very intimate. You still think you don't understand. It's a niche thing. That's the thing you're trying to. It's weird. No. It's like think about it. No, it's not at all.
This movie has too much absorption of children in general.
That's true. Isn't
that like kind of like the whole plot? They're trying to get kids to power something. I haven't seen it in a very long time.
I'm gonna actually have to watch it for the first time soon because I'm doing a Terry Gilliam marathon.
Yeah,
I hope we never do an episode on Brothers Grimm. Yes.
Oh, please no.
No, I'm not rewatching this movie ever again. By the way, it's not the horse bore. No, it's not the horse bore that disturbed me. It's the scene someone's probably gonna talk about. It's the goose scene.
The next
that
scene. So there's it has to do with the well. There's this little mud creature, and the mud creature also absorbs the kid, and gets the kid's eyes, and it slowly becomes the kid kind of thing. It kind of looks like a gingerbread man.
Yeah, exactly. It is a gingerbread man.
Yeah, it becomes a gingerbread man. It's so sod. When you finally see this, you'll understand why, as a child, I was just mortified.
It's the most uncanny early 2000s CGI I've probably ever seen. It's
the CGI is weird because it's almost like the horse part was used practical effects, except for when the kid is actually going into the throat of the horse, which is a horrible CGI effect. But it's still the kid screaming, and they just CGI'd around him, which is terrifying.
Yeah.
But this with the gingerbread muck man, it's all CGI. It's fucking disgusting.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Yeah, okay, you have to put some images on the screen, at least that gingerbread goo, man.
Oh,
do you just want me to put that on the screen now?
Yeah, if you can throw up screenshots so the episode doesn't get taken down.
Mm-hmm.
Don't put any clips or anything.
I want to lose that non-existent ad revenue.
Yeah, we can't lose our ad revenue. This isn't the water horse video, okay? As far as movies, that's sort of the only one I can particularly think of.
It's a be-all, end-all. Brothers Grimm, horse boring kid, gingerbread goo, man. That's what really got to young Simon there.
I guess maybe Land Before Time when Littlefoot's mom died. That's pretty sad.
Would that classify as childhood trauma though?
No, I was just saying in general,
All right, sure.
Yeah,
other than Brothers Grimm, I can't really think of a movie that gave me nightmares or anything.
Okay, so very brave young man you were.
Yeah, I don't cry during cinema. I'll have you know.
Okay.
I follow up all my emotions.
No, that
yeah.
When I went and saw Would You Be My Neighbor in theaters, I cried.
Oh man, oh my god, yeah,
that hit hard, man.
Damn. I should have if Dancer in the Dark ever showed in the theater, people would just be looking at me, think I'm having an emotional breakdown. That'd be something.
It's like the one time I went to, like, saw a tower heist and the guy beside me was freaking out because he was afraid of heights.
Really?
Yeah, and they do a scene like where they're scaling the tower, and the guy's like, he's like freaking out. He's like, he's like giving him vertigo. It was hilarious. I was like, this is the best part of the movie. This guy being freaked out.
I've never known this before. Holy shit! That's so funny. I love your theaters. Like, you have like a whole episode dedicated to like all your theater experiences in general. There's so much I don't know.
Another episode.
Oh, like the topic is like went really well. So yeah.
Well, when I was young, like I saw RoboCop and like all those action movies, horror movies, and stuff like that, and none of it got to me. But Brothers Grimm.
Yeah.
I wouldn't really go near horses in real life for a long time.
I can't blame you because that movie itself, like the quality is just so scary. Like, when it says directed by Terry Gilliam, that's what really scares me. That's what really provokes me.
I thought it was like directed by Terry Gilliam. I was like, oh, this will be a good romp. No,
you would think so, but absolutely
I was
not.
Poorly disappointed.
It's
no
no
Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas.
I say it's not Johnny Depp and Benicio del Toro.
Film.
It's like the end of Dragonheart is pretty traumatizing, very sad.
Oh my god!
Very,
yeah,
very uplifting.
It's like he lost a best friend. I can imagine. Yeah.
Look to the stars, Bowen.
Nah, and I would be crying about that.
We all just cry together over the ending of Dragonheart.
Yes.
Oh, I haven't seen it, so I'm just gonna be sitting in the
Dragonheart coming soon.
Yes, how have you not seen it by this point? Yes, as much as Simon's been on and on about it.
Yeah, how much
I know I'm lazy. Leave me alone.
Yeah. Or when I started
just rewatch They Live. I need to rewatch that again.
No, watch Dragonheart.
Yes, I will watch Dragonheart tonight.
Roddy Piper, eh?
Better.
Sean Connery as a dragon. What more do you want?
I'm the last of the dragons. Her and I were the last. Yeah, I don't really have anything else. Like I can't.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was good.
I know you guys really wrote down a few things, so
I did too. Yeah.
One of you can go next.
Okay. I have quite a few. So which one do you want to go first, Blazing?
I guess I can.
Ethan,
yes.
sorry. I'm just looking at the names.
We use our real names here.
It's not my real name.
Only me, yes. I'm the only real person here.
Same name.
So I wrote down for my notes. All right, it's a first one. Not like the worst one, but something that scared me a lot when I was a kid. There's one music video for a gorilla song.
What?
Yes. Yeah. Yes. There's one music video for a gorilla song called.
Thinking of?
It's called Rocket. It's yeah.
Right.
I could share it, but it's one called Rocket. Really good song and all, but this music video as a kid, the whole video is very creepy. It's all these like celebrities like looking very demonic, like coming down, like their like teeth like opening. It's really disturbing. But then one of the final shots is like a Pazuzu. It's like but that's not it though. But yes, there's like
Pazuzu.
Yes.
I am Pazuzu.
But then what?
I was hoping you would say "Dare" by the Gorillas.
No, that video isn't. That video is good. No, it's not. That scared me as a kid.
I was hoping you would say it.
No, I mean, I saw that as a kid too. It felt good ink and all that, but that didn't scare me as a kid. It was Rocket that did it. Yeah. I was listening to that song the other day. That song still slaps so hard. It's
so good.
Yeah, it really is. That album in general, that's
so fucking good.
Yes, Demon Days. That's a great album, to be honest. So the Rocket video, that part that really scared me. Once the song ends, it's something that shows on the screen. I forget what it says, but like you think it ends, but something pops up on the screen. I remember being in my house in Memphis, Tennessee, and then I swear to God, when he's posted, y'all have to see this. This one chick is like all black and stuff. Shut up! It scares the shit out of me.
Sod, you'll have to put that up on screen.
Yeah,
I
I will.
I have like a. The weird thing is, I didn't know like a scream or anything, but I felt cold. I felt like I stood still. Like it was just me and that staring at the screen. Like I don't know how to react. I was like
Thought
shook
you were actually
over
being
that.
possessed by Pazuzu.
Just that's my visual reaction. Yeah, it's seeing that as a kid does things to you. It's just really the thing is it's creepy to look at it. It's like all black and just that. It's like something out of Twin Peaks: The Return. It's just not right. So like Lynchian imagery, yes.
Disturbing music video I ever saw was "Rub" by Peaches.
Oh, really? I
don't think it's available on YouTube anymore. I think it was taken down.
But copyright label bullshit, yeah.
Yeah, it's. I think I was like, I just wasn't ready for it, kind of thing.
Yeah.
If you know the video that I'm referring to,
I don't, but I have to watch it.
If you can find it, yeah.
Yeah, it's not YouTube isn't the only like option. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I was just be ready. That's all I'm saying.
Can't be as bad as like being bad as a kid, but Gorilla's Rocket, that's one thing that got to me as a kid. Jesus Christ. So another thing is SpongeBob. There were some things, okay, as many 2000s kids love SpongeBob.
The hash-slinging slasher.
As I did, seasons 1 through 3 like
are the best seasons ever.
Yes, absolutely,
Exactly.
objectively the best seasons.
Some of the best seasons of television.
First 3 seasons and the first film. I will stick by that till I die.
And that's all like considered like to be again SpongeBob's golden age.
It's peak.
It's a popular opinion, yeah. It's just I even watching now. I watched like seasons 1 through 3. It's still like so funny to me because like the humor itself, it's just it's just amazing. It's hilarious. It's really great. But
you Wumbo, I Wumbo, we all Wumbo.
There's two episodes that I used to not really watch as a kid. I used to like skip them because like these scared me so much. One episode, I wish I should have gotten the image like before recording. But it's one episode where it involves a butterfly. One butterfly is out. And SpongeBob and Patrick don't know what to do. But then there's these like, of course, like SpongeBob with his comedy, they blend like live action, like obviously cartoons. So it's like a live action close-up shot of a butterfly with like sting coming at you. As a kid, I think I might have cried. I don't remember. I was so scared of this butterfly. I just couldn't. It's just so. As a kid.
You're basically Manny from Modern Family.
How so? I think I love that
butterflies.
Oh, okay. I don't remember that. It's a good show.
It's like a whole plot line about it.
I hate Manny, so.
And isn't that the episode where like the butterfly like terrorizes Bikini Bottom?
Yeah, and then they put it in a bubble. It's a great episode. I can't believe you were terrified of it.
I was terrified. Yeah, that's horrified.
You're more scared of that than when they do close-ups of like SpongeBob or Patrick's faces.
No,
Stimpy, like weird.
Oh my god.
Yeah, he's got like boogers coming out of his nose, and he's like.
I loved Ren and Stimpy as a kid too, but nothing really that scared me. But great show though; it's so funny.
I never understood Ren and Stimpy.
Why? It's hilarious. It's so good.
Like I used to love like early Ren and Stimpy, but knowing like what the creator was like, it's sort of like I know you're supposed to separate art from the artist, but knowing what he did, it's kind of affects my enjoyment of it.
I was more so into one of his other works being The Ripping Friends.
What? Haven't heard of this, sorry.
Oh, I will have to send you guys the link then, eventually. Yeah, there was another, it was like The Ripping Friends. They were like superheroes or whatever.
Oh, okay. Did it last long?
I believe it lasted 1 season.
Okay, that makes sense then.
I know what you mean by the Ren and Stimpy creator, but I guess I don't need to know.
He's a massive asshole.
He's a complete scumbag.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we don't have to get into it here, but yes, okay. I don't need to know for now, I guess. Mm-hmm. But the other SpongeBob episode, It was one episode where it was like obviously SpongeBob, he's going like to isolation and whatnot, and is staying in his house.
Oh, with the penny and the chip.
Yes. Yes.
It's crazy how you can say one thing about an episode and be like, oh, yeah.
Yes.
We all grew up with it.
We all know it. We all grew up with SpongeBob. I say, yeah, we all know it.
Every kid in the 2000s grew up with SpongeBob. That's just
exactly,
like
yes.
Life.
Basically, it's a rule, basically a mandatory, yeah. He's something he had to see. It's like, mandatory. But I forget like the whole plot of the episode, but like, the main thing that scared me was the gorilla. There was this gorilla again, this live action.
We know what you're talking about, and
this gorilla. He like pulls Patrick apart with his skin. His skin comes off, and there's a live gorilla, very live action gorilla. The face, that costume as a kid was realer than like Santa not being real. It was insane.
The way you describe it is like kind of like a creepypasta, like the hyper-realistic gorilla.
I guarantee it was just Tom Kenny in the gorilla suit.
I describe it this way because I think about it now. Like, that should scare me. I still remember to this day in that episode. And I just like you just skip that one, especially that and the butterfly one. It's really got to me. All right, and there's one final thing with SpongeBob that actually did used to creep me out when I was a kid. As much as I love the show, it's like that surprised me a lot. That used to creep me out as a kid. So it was in every single episode. This one thing, and that was the ending. Yes, that was the ending credits. The ending credits. Yes,
the like doot. Yeah,
the music, the guitar, like the guitar at the end. It's like damn.
That scare you.
What?
Oh yes, that song you sing as a kid. Yes. Here's the thing. The thing about it, it's so like slow. It's so like I don't know how to describe it, but like listening to it as a kid, after the episode would end, it felt like I was alone. Like with that song, it's something about it. It's just so song is just so creepy to me.
It sent you into an existential crisis.
So ever since this day, I remember that song. Emotionally, all over the place. I don't know how to feel now about it. Looking about it now, I remember that song. It's like, so I went to that video on YouTube with the ending credits. I'm like, I look at the comments, and other people were also like, hey, that just also creeped me out as a kid. I'm like, oh my god, I'm not alone. Yeah.
There's there's a subgroup of weirdos afraid of the end credits.
It's a song, just a song. Yes.
I'd like to make a public service announcement. If you were ever touched by the end credits of SpongeBob, please speak out.
Let your voice be heard.
I'm speaking out now. Yes. Please, I'm not the only one.
I'm encouraging more people to. I'm doing a good job.
Good, please.
It literally affects dozens and dozens.
2000s kids, yes.
We don't know how many 2000s kids were traumatized by the end credit scene of SpongeBob SquarePants.
I love how you're afraid of the end credits, but like the episode where SpongeBob and SpongeBob and Squidward have to work the night shift at the Krusty Krab, and the hash slinging slasher that didn't get.
Oh no, that episode was
the end credits
funny.
Killed you.
No, Nosferatu was so cool as a kid, but the end credits that got me. Yeah, it's a classic. I just remember the recording. I think we're going to Amazon Prime and watch these episodes right now. But yeah, it's something. Other people were creeped out by the song. I remember as a kid, like watching these episodes, like as soon as before I get to the end credits, I was like turning it off. I go to the next episode, so I won't have to hear that end credit song. Like no, I can't. It's unnerving.
Oh no, the episode's over.
You like got up and like sprinted out of the living room or wherever you're watching it.
Mommy, the telly! SpongeBob is over!
I'm just picturing in my head.
Yeah, I can't do it. I know I went through this, but I can still picture this in my head. Holy shit.
The image you sent of you around Christmas being all pissed off. It's like that's all I can picture right now.
Oh dear lord. So I'm not the only one. That song creeps me out. Maybe even to this day. I don't know. It's just,
I don't think it was a guitar. I think it was a ukulele.
No, it was a guitar. People do guitar covers of it. It was a guitar. It wasn't a ukulele. Ukulele is a very distinct sound, and that was a guitar. Ukulele
This
is
is
like
why he likes rap music. He can't do rock and roll. It's a
What?
guitar.
I know, John. I know instruments. That was not ukulele. Ukulele is like what Tiny Tim plays. That's the ukulele. That's what he does. Not whoever did that creepy end credit song.
Tiny Tim also scare you since his song was featured in the first episode of SpongeBob.
That is true, but no, he did not. He has a very lovely voice.
Living in the sunshine, having a wonderful time.
Oh, that song
That's
is
the one you were
Insidious
talking
too.
about?
Yeah.
That's Tiny Tim, yeah. That's him.
Tiny Tim.
So yeah, besides from SpongeBob, before I get to like, honestly, I think that's the peak, but I still have my other things to say. Alright, so spiders are my biggest fear in life by far. I am absolutely terrified of spiders. Anytime I see them, I imagine them like one on my arm. Like
I'm gonna keep that in mind for my next pick.
No, but here's the thing. I don't want any. I'm not going to watch any Spiders movie because I know these assholes are going to be like 8-legged freaks or whatever. And I'm not watching that. I can't sit through that unless you're having anxiety.
Lost in Space.
Does that have a spider?
Ethan, do you want to know that I'm currently looking at a spider right now? Like
they're probably crawling all over him. They're probably extremely deadly.
He lives in a spider jungle. Like his house is filled with like bugs everywhere.
Sod walks into his washroom, and before he can take a shit, he literally has to do a 10-step preparation of getting all the critters, like the snakes, the spiders, the deadly poisonous lizards.
Lizards. Why did you turn to a strange accent?
Lizards, Mike. He could do a fucking road show of just
adventures in my own.
I might.
Yes, I say that to a lizard because we have had a couple instances where just a lizard. I just walked downstairs into my living room and it's just a lizard hanging around that just
Mom,
looks at me.
There's a fucking gecko over there, right?
It's amazing how they just walk off because they just go so quick. They just go under the couch and I'm like, okay, that's something I have to worry about later on.
Your accent slightly fades in and out.
You know, I have a weird accent. I have a weird voice in general.
What does your dad sound like?
Just a guy, I guess.
He sounds like a bloke.
So I was a bit older during this time. I mean, I was still young. I was still a kid, but it's
you were still young as shit. So
yeah, I mean, I was after it was just after SpongeBob. So obviously, I was a bit older during this. I was still a kid though. But I went through this phase and this mind state of watching old 50s sci-fi B movies or horror movies. It's something I wanted to do when I was at that age. So I watched the original Fly, not the Cronenberg, but the Vincent Price Fly. And there's one scene where it's this guy, his head is on a fly or something like that, and then he's on a spider web. And there's this tarantula coming right at the screen. It's the most close-up shot you can ever imagine. It's just his eyes staring into your soul. And watching it as a kid, it was my worst fear coming right at me. And it was horrifying. It was still the worst. It was the worst. Yeah, it's horrible.
In 3D.
That's what it felt like. It's 3D. Yeah. So besides that, and spiders, spiders are the worst bug objectively. I hate spiders.
So you're not a big fan of Spider-Man, I would assume.
No, not at all.
Not gonna go in to see a new one.
God, no, I don't care. Tom Holland ones I don't care about.
How did you feel about the CGI spider in the first Tobey Maguire film?
I haven't seen that movie since I was 6. I don't remember.
It's a big spider.
We got to pick for our next episode at some point. Then,
I mean, I guess I'd watch. I mean, I don't mind. I said I don't care about Spider-Man, but I don't mind him. I guess.
How do you feel about the big spider in Return of the King?
The CGI one. That wasn't as bad. It's not bad as a tarantula coming right at you.
They use practical effects on it sometimes.
Yeah, that one. I don't remember. It wasn't like as bad like, compared to the movies I've seen. Like the scene in Doctor No where they use a tarantula. The first like, James Bond movie that was pretty bad too. I remember like watching that scene.
What
Like
about
first
Home
time
Alone?
Oh yeah, I hate that scene. Yeah, so I guess it's supposed to be funny, but I can never like watch Jesus Christ. No, that's
Ethan's
Home
got the
Alone.
remote in his hand. He's like ready to skip in
He's
5,
just like holding
4,
onto it.
3, 2,
His
1.
crucifix. And how do you feel about the spider in Inspector Gadget when it crawls out of fake Matthew Broderick's mouth?
Never seen it.
Gadget.
No,
Doom,
no, never
You've never
seen
seen
it.
the...
No,
Okay, how do you feel
I,
about the spiders in Harry Potter 2?
Oh yeah.
I don't remember actually. I remember there being like spiders in Harry Potter in general, but I don't remember specifically
Literally
how.
like many spiders in Harry Potter too.
That sounds horrible.
20
I'm
minutes
never watching it
dedicated to
ever again.
spiders.
I'm never
The
watching it ever
spiders.
again. Then.
All right, Harry Potter month coming soon.
Yes, we have to read on Harry Potter. So that's to refresh my
It'll just be us
memory.
ranging about J.K. Rowling going, haha, J.K.
Got him.
Harry Potter was actually black.
Oh, Hermione was actually black all along, and Dumbledore's gay.
So something else. Honestly,
Did you see how he dressed? Of course he was.
It's one thing. I actually don't remember, but it's like something compared to other ones. I don't remember this. It's something my mom or dad like tell me something like this scared me a lot when I was a kid. So like I must have been I was like super. I was like I could be like 2 or 3. Like I don't remember this. It's something my mom and dad remember because obviously they're not 3. But we're watching Pee-wee's Big Adventure, which is a movie I think is still great. But despite Paul Rubens being a creep, I think it's still a really fun movie. If you ignore that part of it.
I think we did the part what you're talking about, or going to get to.
But there's one part where it's like during the middle of the night, and then Pee-wee, this is this van that comes by. He gets in the van. There's this girl named Large Marge.
It's not a van. It's a semi.
Just truck. Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah,
Okay,
she's a truck driver.
Yeah,
Did you
truck,
even watch
yes.
the film?
Like, no, it's a
Do you
truck.
like movies?
But she's telling Pee-wee the story. And obviously, it's like very intimidating presence. But then out of nowhere, there's like Tim Burton like effect, and her like eyes pop out, her mouth is like all weird. It's 80s effect.
It's like the Beetlejuice effect.
Yeah, which is like a Beetlejuice. Yeah,
Motion.
you have to use the image on the screen. But remember, apparently I cried at that when I was a kid. When I saw that, yeah, it's that Large Marge effect. Yes. So.
Well, the first time I saw this as a kid, I was like, "Hey, Beetlejuice."
So there was that. And then one thing, it's a YouTube video actually, so it's not. I still want to count it, I guess, because as a movie character in it, that is a jump scare. But it's this one YouTube video. It's something about the greatest jump scare ever, or something like that. I don't know.
Commercial.
No. It's not that. No, it's not that. It's something else.
Is it the Maze Game?
I have seen that. It's something. It has the Exorcist girl like the Maze Game, but it's not the Maze Game though.
Okay. Ooh.
Okay. It's very. Yeah. All right. It's this video. It's a green screen, and it's a room, and there's a chair, and the chair is rocking over and over, and all of a sudden, Reagan from The Exorcist pops out, and he's on the screen. It's like a scream that happens during that. Once it happens, I jump away, I run away to the couch, start crying like something worst thing ever happened to me. A couch, so that counts a couch.
I was like, what?
No.
They have to hire a counselor at all times.
They were talking about why the end credits of SpongeBob scared him so much.
He's just always around the house on standby, just in case.
Fucking Nanny McPhee was ready to help blazing out.
Ethan, are you okay? Was it the SpongeBob credits team again?
The way you describe that kind of reminds me of the Scream channel, which was a thing here in Canada, and they'd have like spooky little bumpers between movies.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the way you said it reminds me of one of those. Yeah.
I linked it, but it was that one right there. I found it. I still have it there. It was horrible. Have y'all seen it before?
No, I haven't.
No.
Okay, but it was that one. I think some background. Again, I was young. This is when I was living in Memphis, Tennessee at first. So like, I don't know, 4 or 5.
Strumming on your
I was young.
guitar.
Wow, I was still young. And apparently my brother, he told my dad to show me that. I don't know why he did. I don't know why he thought it was a good idea. I guess they didn't know I would react like the way I did. So they showed it to me. So I got scared, obviously, but I started crying. And that's the worst. Like, I still... You just have to be there, but it was awful. Horrible video. Some childhood trauma for you right there. And I'm
Say
sure
your
there's...
brother is horrible for doing that, but I don't want to get canceled.
If I can say he's horrible, then you can too. It's okay.
Oh, what a dick. Oh.
Yes.
Is that it for you? You got anything else?
That's I wrote down. Yeah, I think SpongeBob. That's pretty much like what kind of covered all. It's like Spider, YouTube video, and Gorilla's Rocket music video. Yeah.
Anytime I watch an episode of SpongeBob and just end credits, I'm just gonna be thinking about you having a existential crisis,
like a panic attack.
Yeah, like a little breakdown.
That's pretty much like what I have for this segment. Yeah. You take it away, son.
Good thing they played Ocean Man at the end of the first film, or else you would have been crying.
Yeah, we don't know what would have happened to you then.
I love that song still. The Ween song, I love that song still. I didn't do anything
Ocean
for
Man,
Ocean
Take me by the hand, we material land that you understand. Yes, I remember you know all the words too.
Yeah. Sod, you're up.
Okay, all right.
Tell us about your traumas.
Sure. First
Make us
one.
feel things.
Okay, this is a weird one because I don't know, like.
Oh no, Ethan's were pretty weird.
Okay, this one I like to think that came from some sort of thing I must have seen when I was like really, really young. We're like talking like preschool age. This occurred in preschool. I must have seen something that put this idea in my head, but I can't remember what exactly it was. For like what happened was like one day in preschool, like preschool activities, little artwork, put your name on it. And when I brought that like artwork home, like I get to put it on the fridge, my mum like looked at it and said, "What's this? You spelled your name backwards."
Oh my God,
what?
It's so creepy, weird character Babadook. Here we go.
So you.
No, it was just it said Mott, all right.
Yeah, I was waiting for you.
Yeah, it said Mott, and I don't know why, but this like set me into like a little panic. I got this idea that I thought there was like had an evil doppelganger. It was just me, except it was my last name spelled backwards. For some reason,
What the hell?
And for some reason, like I got this idea this Mott guy was trying to like take over my life. I really don't know how I came up with this at the age of.
That's like a good Cooper and bad Cooper Twin Peaks situation in the Black
son of a
Lodge.
bitch! See what you did there. God damn it.
Nobody can see this right now, but in the Discord server, I changed his name from Sod to Mott.
Okay, I'm gonna have to screenshot that and put it in. I'm so upset.
Oh god. I was hoping you wouldn't notice until later, but
yeah, just because I saw like.
So you thought there was like a doppelganger?
Yeah, it was just like me, except his name was Mott, and just because he had his name on my artwork, I got the idea that okay, this Mott guy's trying to take over my life. What shall I do?
Holy shit! That's actually terrifying. That
yeah, like, what the hell?
That's a movie plot right
Paranoia.
There.
That's constant.
his own
But that's
enemy.
the thing. Like, it must have like come from like something else. I must have seen something because I don't. I know. I guess maybe you could say because like
You
as
just
children
weren't
we're
a
like
fan of like Mott's tomato juice, or
I don't know, but I guess like as you're like really young, you sort of had like this. You're at your most creative, I guess you could say. So I guess maybe I came up with it like that. But I'm also thinking that I must have seen something, then must have like
Started.
got that
you
that
actually
idea in my head.
sleepwalk in the middle of the night. You look in the mirror, and be like, "I am Mott.
Yeah,
Your body is mine now."
damn it. For all we know, Bot could still be out there.
No, he's still in you. Mott is you. You are Mott.
I'm not. You know who I am.
I am not Mott.
So Scott's a schizophrenic. You heard it here, folks. As a kid.
Mott
I
is
don't know.
actually his female pronoun.
Shares some
It's, his different,
traumatizing.
it's feminine persona.
This is how I'm treated when I share my trauma.
Yes, you get shit on, yes. Hey, I'm not the one getting shit on, so okay.
Well, not currently, but
Yes.
Yeah, so that's the Mott incident, as we call it, in the God household. Now these next ones actually do relate to like specific like pieces of media I saw. This one I got reminded of recently. We're going to do it as we've been rewatching Christmas films. They got into the Santa Claus trilogy, which is like I don't know, the first one's fine, and then the sequels are just bizarre, especially the second one.
Yeah.
The whole idea that you can't be Santa unless you have a wife.
Like the whole idea that like if you somehow kill Santa,
he becomes Santa.
Yeah.
It's almost like a curse.
Yeah, and there's also that line at the end of the first one where the kid says, "You know what? When I grow up, I think I'm gonna take over the family business." Implying that he's gonna throw Tim Allen off a roof.
Man, Santa died so easily in that first film.
I know, he got spooked. We got bamboozled and he died.
Yeah, it's like this mystical being. So you could did Tim Allen kill the original Santa, Saint Nick, or did this guy?
No, because in the sequels they say there's been many Santas. He's just the next one in line until he eventually falls off a roof.
It's like the episode of Futurama where Fry drinks the Emperor.
Yeah,
he becomes the Emperor.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but so rewatch the Santa Claus movies. They're not great, but the second one, I know, rewatching it, like waking all these like weird dreams I had of like that toy Tim Allen clone Santa.
Oh,
I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
I thought that was
Is it played by Tim Allen?
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah, and just how weird, awkward, just unfunny it was.
Yeah.
It just had an effect on me somehow. And then worst of all, when he gets like the boy soldiers and like clones them and enlarges them, they just look
it goes against them.
He makes a robot Santa to deal with stuff while he's trying to get a wife.
Yeah.
And it turns evil. Takes over.
I would say
the North
turns
Pole.
evil. Just I don't know. He just thinks every kid's naughty, and he's like, so they all get cold.
So they stole robot Santa Claus from Futurama.
Yeah, basically, and did it worse.
Way worse. Because it wasn't voiced by John Goodman.
Yeah,
true. And then later on voiced by DiMaggio.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was that. And then Santa Claus 3, which just has a bunch of weird stuff in it as well.
Martin Short, dude.
What is
Martin Short? Yeah.
Same post as Freddy versus Jason.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just very like weird and awkward.
I love how Martin Short basically turns Christmas into what it is nowadays.
Christmas. Yeah.
He turns Christmas into Christmas.
It's like what Kirk Cameron is against, like what his Christmas is.
No, that's what Kirk Cameron celebrates, and his brother-in-law is against. See, it would have been better
yeah,
if you had.
okay.
Would have been better if you just had Kirk Cameron as the Martin Short as Jack Frost. That's what I'm saying.
That's a lot. That's what you need to get out of. Yes,
they're trying to take the Christ out of Christmas. The war on Christmas is here, and they attacked the tree at Fox News. They burnt it down. Did you guys see this? Did you hear about this?
What?
No, I did not.
Oh, it's like the Fox News station. They have a gigantic, like, very expensive tree outside of their building, and like some homeless dude burnt it down, and they're like, the war on Christmas has started again.
God damn it!
Jesus.
Yeah.
Lefty media.
And they brought in this preacher when they were putting up the new tree. It's like, back in Vietnam. I was like, you guys lost
What
that
the
war.
fuck?
Like, hard.
What the hell?
Like, what does that
Wait,
have
what?
to do
Wait,
with
did they say they
Christmas?
won Vietnam?
No, he's just saying back in Vietnam, yada yada, freedoms were trying to be taken, and we stood
Oh my
up.
god.
I was like, yeah, but you guys lost.
Oh my god. Oh.
You got a lot of people killed for no reason, and you burnt up good forests.
Still have landmines all around Vietnam that people trip on occasionally. Well done, guys.
Okay.
That's the Santa Claus. Next is this is from like a Australian show that aired a lot around here. I'm not sure if you
Does it have
two have heard.
puppets?
No, it doesn't have puppets.
Ugh.
Well, this specific episode is about a puppet, but it's
All right.
The show was called Round the Twist. Is that like ringing any bells to any you two?
Not at all.
I would like to I would say that I'm pretty well versed in foreign cinema. Well, more so foreign TV shows. Like, I have the BBC one here.
Well, do you think there's
But no, I've never, like, the only Australian, like, I've heard of Sammy J and Randy. That's it.
Okay, yeah, Blazing's just
Round the Twist.
point up basically the premise
So
of
it's
the
about
show.
a lighthouse.
The premise was that like this family move into like this lighthouse and just weird shit happens every episode. It's the premise, and
so like the film Yours, Mine, and Ours.
I've never seen that film, but
starring Dennis Quaid.
I have no idea. So yeah,
all right, moving on.
That. But this one episode called Toy Love.
What?
The episode's called Toy Love. I had to look into this because it was just always been in the back of my brain. Basically, the plot of this episode was like one of the kids like throws away like an old toy they had. They're like, oh no, I don't want it. I'm grown up now. I don't need this anymore.
Nothing more heartbreaking than that as a kid.
Yeah, and basically what happens is this like
I still have my toys.
I still have some of mine. Mostly the Toy Story ones.
Oh, I still got those, yeah.
But then the doll basically just comes back and starts like messing with her. It's just screaming.
Oh, what the hell? Ew.
Like, yeah, it's just I can't do the voice. It's like a very like Australian like 30-year-old woman
Taylor.
voice, like, cuddle me, like that. And
okay, so yeah,
me,
Australian voice doing Australian voice, so yeah, that's it.
Yeah, it's horrifying to me, and also like the way it's built up. It's like I rewatched the parts of the episode, and it's almost like a Sam Raimi movie in points, like just the weird camera angles.
What are Aussies showing kids? My God, Sam Raimi, he said.
Yeah, it's just like that. It's weird, and even I don't know why this was like on. Pretty much the show was for kids, but I don't know how I saw this, and yeah, trying to twist for you.
But all our Aussie listeners will know.
Yeah, they will know
for sure. They'll know the trauma as well.
Of Round the Twist.
What's the episode called again? I might look into it.
It's called Toy Love. You can find it on YouTube if you want to look at it.
Yeah. I'm curious. They got Australian a demonic doll. That sounds promising, honestly.
No, it's just a normal doll it's because in the scene where like first like I guess it comes pronounced that this doll is messing with this girl. It's just like standing on the end of her bed. And it's just the way of like matter of fact way it's just shown. I don't know, that to me was terrifying.
It's just subtle things like that as a kid. It makes all the difference.
Yeah. The next thing I've written down is a episode of Thomas the Tank Engine.
Oh, really? Oh my! Which one? That was my shit as a kid. I owned all the toys.
Yes, same here, same here.
Thomas
Yes,
had never seen such bullshit before.
the theme song is so magical. Oh my god,
It's magical.
Alec Baldwin
it really
was
is.
the main character in
In the
Thomas the Tank
movie,
Engine. Yeah.
yes,
the
the
movie.
movie is a masterpiece.
And then he went on to shoot people on film sets.
But because it was Thomas, that's the reason why.
He started in the Magic Railroad or whatever it's called. Yeah, but this because
Yeah.
I guess there were like a few because I went through like apparently the one that most people were traumatized by as a kid was the Boulder episode. If anyone remembers that.
That sounds
No.
very familiar, but yes, describe it, please.
That's well, that's not the one I want to talk about. I was just saying that's the one that people bring up the most. The one I'm
Oh,
bringing up
okay.
is it's this one about a ghost train that basically the episode is like one of the trains, I don't know, is acting like a dick and saying, "Oh, I'm not scared of
okay.
this and that."
Is it the green train?
Because
Oh,
Percy, he has a name. It's Percy the train. The
Well, no,
green
these
one.
are like
I
this is like,
never really watched it, so I wouldn't know.
this is
Well,
like
we're in trivia.
watch it. Like you know how like they had like the little railroad that was sort of on the side of like the little engines.
No.
Yes.
Remember that? Yeah, it was
Yes,
an
I
episode focused
do.
on them, and I think it's the.
I
character
thought
was called-
Percy was the name of the plane.
and
No,
that's Harold the
Percy's a
helicopter.
train. That's Howard. Yes.
Harold, not Howard.
Did you
What
even
I-
watch?
Did you even watch?
Did you
Thomas,
even
when you were
watch
a
the show?
child? Did you really have a childhood, Ethan?
Well, Thomas is a great part of my childhood, so yeah, I guess, yeah.
So basically, I
Thomas.
think the train's called Duncan is like being a dick, saying like I'm not scared of this, and then he's told a ghost story about this train that crosses a bridge, and then falls to his death.
What
Oh my god!
the hell?
The train it falls to,
Jesus.
the train falls to his death, but then this is what got me as well is that then like as a ghost, the train is like forced to like always take that trip across the bridge and always falls off and can never make it across as like a ghost.
Yeah.
That's the ghost story, which is weird enough.
Is this like a Halloween episode?
I guess so.
That's what I was gonna ask. Yeah.
And so since this other train's like being a dick, like his like drivers think that it's okay to like fuck with him. Essentially, it's like, oh, we'll go across that very same bridge. And he's like, oh, okay. And it's like dead at night, and like I rewatched the episode as well. It's like fog, and it's like weirdly atmospheric.
Oh, you watched this recently?
I went back to it because like
Oh,
27
wow,
episodes are like they're all on YouTube and they're like 5 minutes long.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Basically, like he's like trying to cross the bridge, and then the driver's like, because like they want to fuck with him, like throw a rock off, like
What?
make it sound like a train's falling to its death.
Yeah.
Then he has a panic attack and runs off, and that's the message of the episode.
The train ran off, did it?
Okay, chugs off, drives off, whatever.
Ah!
Yeah, that's basically it. So yeah, basically the moral of the story is don't be a dick or your friends will traumatize you for life.
Don't be mean to the main character of the show.
Something like
Basically,
that.
yeah.
Yeah, that's what happened. That's that. And yeah, so that's had an effect on me apparently when I asked my mother about things that traumatized me, and she was just like, oh yeah, there was this episode of Thomas the Tank Engine that got yeah.
Oh god, yeah. I love you did Aussie accent too. Oh god, yeah, Mike, that is so.
That's not how my mother sounds. I just did that for comedic effect.
Yes, she does. That's how she sounds.
Laddie.
Now.
It
I
was
got-
ever
someone-
traumatizing for you.
Thomas, yes.
If you somehow listen to this, I'm sorry I didn't mean to.
We love you, lass.
We love you for
fucking
getting-
love you, mate.
We love you for giving birth to his golden Aussie podcast child.
You
Yes.
popped him out and he was glorious from the beginning, eh?
I'm looking at
Yeah,
YouTube
were
right now. I think it is. It said Thomas the Tank Engine and Friends Halloween special, so I think it was from a Halloween special.
Ah, nice.
Yeah, when I was birthed, I don't tell people this a lot, but when it was birthday, when my mom
What?
held her in her arms, she said to me, "One day you're gonna go do a podcast with a Canadian."
You'll open the world to trade with America and Canada.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
I guess the last one I want to touch on is a comic book movie called Batman Returns, directed by Tim Burton.
Okay. I think I know what you're talking about. If it is,
I'm assuming it's the part with the penguin and the cat.
No, just the whole movie in general.
Okay.
It's just
no.
it's like
Actually,
here's the context for it, because like as a kid, like my parents were like restrictive of what I could watch, and during 2008, like obviously the Dark
so
Knight
was your government, so
yeah, the government as well. But the Dark Knight was like as we all know, a big movie. Like everyone was talking about it, and I wasn't allowed to watch it. So what they did to make me feel better is they like got me like the movies from the 80s and 90s, like the Tim Burton trilogy and the Joel Schumacher ones, and I loved them, except Batman Returns, because it was fucking scary to me.
It's very dark, yeah. I remember there was one part as a kid where it was like the penguin, he ripped this nose
Yeah, he rips a guy's nose off. He bites it off.
Yes! I cried at that when I was a kid. Yes, I remember.
Yeah, and also there's like weird lines about like, I'll do my flipper trick. And weird.
Yeah, it's really weird. Yes.
Like, just the pussy I've been looking for.
That is fair, because Danny DeVito in that film is fucking disgusting.
Yeah, that's just because they like my parents saw me watching this. They were just like, "Oh no, this is fine." The Dark Knight is too
I remember him. He was always dripping.
The penguin.
Yeah.
He was like always weird, sweaty, and just
gross. Well, I'm sure Danny DeVito was sweating in that fucking makeup.
Makeup, yeah.
Yeah.
Then there was also the bit at the end where, because Christopher Walken's also in the movie, is like sort of like a sub villain, I guess you want to say. What happens to him? He like gets tasered to death.
I think he just gets sent. Yeah, I think he dies. Yes,
gets electrocuted, and the thing that got me as well is like when Batman like goes over and he's like trying to like find his like if he's like under all this rubble, and you see his corpse and it's just like completely charred. His eyes are like, I think his eyes are popping out, and it just looks gross. I just remember that really freaked me out as well. Yeah, that's Batman Returns. Another just a short bit on more childhood trauma.
Yeah, Jesus. Tim Burton always scaring kids.
I really like, was it Batman Forever with Jim Carrey?
Yeah.
Forever. Yeah.
Yeah. I really like that one.
I haven't seen that one in eons.
Same.
Tommy Lee Jones in that. I was like, I had no clue you could go full retard.
Yeah, basically, yeah, he's so like weirdly over the top.
Like I've never seen him act like that before.
Especially since it's coming from Tommy Lee Jones. That's what makes it all the more bizarre.
Imagine Robert De Niro played Two-Face. Well, I guess he did in Taxi Driver.
He just did you say Robert De Niro or Robert Downey Jr.?
De Niro.
Okay, De Niro. For some reason, I thought you said the other one.
The Iron Man?
Yeah, the Iron Man.
The Iron Man.
The Iron Man, which is a part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, which is the biggest film franchise of all. Much bigger than Star Wars. So that guy who was talking about the Santa Claus trilogy being irrelevant, well, your Star Wars is just as irrelevant. No one is going to get that, by the way, but
that's another inside joke. Yes, people losing the people.
I hate Star Wars. There's no joke.
That's the joke.
Star Wars month coming soon.
Where it's just going to be Simon talking about how much he hates Star Wars.
Yeah, it's just going to be me recording myself giving out.
I'll say I like the originals. The prequel is stinky. The new ones, whatever. That's the episode.
Attack of the Clones, pretty good.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Revenge of the Sith, pretty good.
I mean, people seem to like that one, so I guess you and
I
the
really
Star Wars
don't.
fans have
Phantom
something in
Menace
common
sucks.
then. That's it
Yeah,
for my
Star
childhood
Wars is pretty
trauma.
bad in general.
Yeah.
Pretty
Is that all the-
traumatizing for me. Yeah, nowadays.
Is that all the childhood trauma we got?
Yeah, Star Wars
All the
gives
Star
me
Wars
adult
fans around.
traumatization. Yeah, don't make Star Wars your personality, kids.
That's a big takeaway from this
If
episode.
anything in this episode, yes, please take that away from this episode before we end it, please.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, thanks for listening. This has been another riveting episode of Simon versus the podcast with me, Simon, Ethan, and Sod. So thanks for listening. We probably won't see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
See ya.
Bye.
Do your balls stink?
I don't know. Tell me.
Ah!